Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agumofwebe, reminding our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcast. We apologize for bringing the news a little behind schedule. Thank you so very much for your understanding. The Nigerian Army has appealed to citizens to avoid wearing military uniforms illegally, emphasizing that respecting the uniform is an important part of strengthening national security and building trust between the military and members of the public. Chief of Civil Military Relations, Major General Gold Chibuisi, made this known during a chat with defense correspondents in Abuja. Security correspondent Kekelama Okere has details.
Speaking during a media chat with the defense correspondent in Abuja, the Chief of Civil Military Affairs, Army Major General Gold Chibuisi says the misuse of military attire by unauthorized persons not only violates the law but also aid criminal activities. Highlighting the security risk, Chibuisi noted that criminals increasingly exploit military uniform to commit crimes, making it harder for civilians and security agencies to identify genuine soldiers. He stressed that the law must be respected to maintain the integrity and safety of the armed forces, warning that offenders will face the wrath of the law. The Chief of Civil Military further called for deeper civil-military relations and urged Nigerians to see Nigerian Army as their own institution, saying that soldiers are members of the communities and not outsiders or violent enforcers.
Army, and that's why I say that the media is very important in being for us to be able to communicate that to the Nigerian people. It is their army. They should be able to say our army is doing this. Not soldiers they do. No, our soldiers are doing this. And it is when you own the army, you see a lot of things come with it. Those of us in the army, we've had, some places you go, people look at you with awe, but that's not what we are looking for. We want to see the way they see us as members of their families, because we are not from the moon. We are from homes and communities within the Nigerian state. See the military, you see them as your people, working for you, making sacrifices for you, and understanding the role that that they have contributed to building the country that we have, and they will help as we continue to build our country into the future.
The Chief of Civil Military further called on the media and the public to assist in sensitization efforts, stressing that offenders should be arrested and prosecuted rather than subjected to extrajudicial treatments. Kekelama Okere, Global Television News.
Defense correspondent Kekelama Okere, thank you for your reporting. Bayelsa State government has expressed dismay over the shooting incident during a political rally organized in the state by the New Associate Group. Gunmen suspected to be sponsored political thugs had disrupted the rally and inauguration of the New Associate Group at the Church of God Mission Camp at Igbogene, Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. The federal government says it is set to pay the outstanding 5 months 35,000 naira wage award arrears to federal workers. The Office of the Accountant General of the Federation made this known in a statement issued in Abuja. The Accountant General's office explained that the federal government had earlier paid 5 months' wage awards to federal government employees in installments, noting that outstanding arrears will be paid in installments of 35,000 naira per month for 5 months. The Office of the Accountant General further stated that the first installment of the outstanding wage award arrears will be paid after the April 2025 salary. So relief after all. Operatives of the Delta State Police Command have shot dead 5 suspected kidnappers in a fierce gun battle. Public Relations Officer of the State Command, Bright Edafe, confirmed in a statement that the suspected kidnappers had engaged the operatives in a gun battle after a raid on one of their hideouts in a forest between Isile Azagba and Utulu. He said the operatives had earlier stormed another of the kidnappers' hideouts in Agoa-Wambia forests in Anambra State, where they recovered one AK-47 rifle and 132 rounds of live ammunition. Justice Wonsu Eheme of a Federal Capital Territory Higher Court in Wuse Zone 2 in Abuja has sentenced the husband of late gospel singer Osinachi, Peter Uwanchuku, to death by hanging. Uwanchuku was found guilty of culpable homicide resulting in the death of his wife on April 8, 3 years ago. The judge held that the prosecution had proven the burden of proof placed on it by the law and subsequently found the defendant guilty. At least 5 persons have lost their lives in an explosion in a residential area in Omoku, headquarters of Ogba Egbema Ndoni local government areas of Rivers State. Fine Face Dunamene, an environmentalist and executive director of the Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, confirmed the incident in a statement. It was learned that the blast was said to have occurred in one of the rooms in a residential area used for storing illegally refined petroleum products. This is Global Television, and you're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When the rest of the news returns shortly, Russia declares unilateral ceasefire in Ukraine for May 8 to 10. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please do stay with us. Thank you so very much, everyone, for staying with us here on News Cycle. The second part of this broadcast now returns with business, where the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Dr. Olayemi Cardoso, says the reforms implemented by President Bola Tinubu's government in the past 18 months have not been easy, but are delivering results. This is according to Cardoso's excerpts released upon the closure of the 2025 IMF World Bank Spring meetings in Washington, D.C. in the United States. The CBN explained that Nigeria's delegation attended the meetings to showcase economic reforms under President Bola Tinubu's administration. In a different development, the Central Bank of Nigeria says it has raised a total of more than 1 trillion naira on its open market operations auction held on Friday, 25th April 2025. This follows an overwhelming investor demand that led to a 102% oversubscription. The Apex Bank's data indicates that the auction, which had initially offered 500 billion naira across 2 maturities, attracted a total bids of nearly 1.4 trillion naira. And let's talk politics now. Enugu State Caucus in the House of Representatives has thrown its weight behind the federal government's plan to concession the Akanu Imbiam International Airport in Enugu, describing it as a potential catalyst for the Southeast economy. The caucus commended the federal government for the initiative and urged it to hasten the concession process to enable the people of the Southeast and the nation benefit from it in earnest. On the foreign scene, Russia has declared 72-hour unilateral ceasefire in Ukraine and called on Kyiv to agree to the pause. President Vladimir Putin says Russian forces will conduct hot fighting from midnight on May 8 to midnight on May 10. The announcement comes amid rising pressure from the United States for Moscow to agree to a full ceasefire in the conflict. Police say the suspect in a Canadian car ramming attack that left 11 dead at a Filipino street party acted deliberately and had a history of mental health problems. No motive has been confirmed for the Saturday evening attack in the western city of Vancouver, though terrorism was ruled out by police authorities. The ramming shocked the country a day before a general election dominated by U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canadian products and his threat to annex his northern neighbor that has been a key ally and trading partner.
Possible to overstate how many lives have been impacted forever by this lone individual. There are many unanswered questions about why this horrific crime happened, the motive of the person who did it, and whether anything could have been done to prevent it. There are many things we still don't know but we are working hard to get all of the answers.
Police Chief Ray raised the death toll from 9 and said the 30-year-old suspect driving a black Audi SUV had a significant history of interaction with police and mental health care professionals.
There are now 11 confirmed fatalities. We believe dozens more are injured, some seriously, and the number of dead could rise in the coming days or weeks.
Prime Minister Mark Carney, in a brief address to the nation, broke into tears as he addressed the tragedy. Uyi Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global TV News. The United States government has fingered Karachi achievements that spotlights Ikenne and Ogun State. President Tinubu described the historic victory 4 years after the team's promotion to the Elite League as a testament to the hard work, discipline, and unyielding spirit of the players, the coaching crew, and management. He says he admires the team's resilience and perseverance, noting their courage in pursuing success despite 3 previous near misses in the race for the league title. And now beyond Nigerian League, Manchester United are continuing their efforts to secure the signing of Brazilian forward Matheus Cunha, with negotiations on final contract details currently underway. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano confirmed the development, stating Manchester United keep working to seal Matheus Cunha deal very soon, plan confirmed since 1 week ago. And that's a full circle here on the news on Global Television. Just a quick reminder that we are on DSTV channel 365, star times 276, and we would love to remind you that you can follow us across all our social media platforms using @Global TV NG, as well as other handles as you now see on your screen. Please remember to download our app for Android and iOS devices, that is the Global TV Nigeria mobile app, so you can follow and keep track of our 247 broadcast. I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe, appreciating you for your time. I'll see you when it's time for News Prime.